The devil hates when you fast for God. Here's three reasons why the devil hates when you fast for God. The first one being, when you fast, you're able to hear God clearer. And when you hear God clearer, you can know what your purpose is and what God is calling you to do. So oftentimes there's something that God is telling you to do, but it's hard to hear because you have the distractions from the world, the voice of the enemy, the voice of the flesh, and then you have the voice of God. And when you're not fasting, when we're not fasting, it's hard for us to know which voice is God, right? But when you fast, you're able to hear that a lot more clearly. The devil hates that. Why? Because the second one is when you fast for God, you also gain spiritual empowerment, which means not only do you know what you are meant to do because you can hear from God now, you can have direction for your business, your ministry, your marriage, your relationship with your children, whatever it is, whatever that thing is that God just placed on your heart as I'm speaking now. When you fast, you have the ability to act on that, not just know what to do, but to actually take the action. Because let's be honest, it's hard for us to obey God sometimes. If He tells us to go pray for somebody, it's oftentimes it's hard. Like we get in our own head and we're like, oh, what if this person thinks I'm weird? What if I get embarrassed? Things like that. But when we fast, what happens is our flesh comes down, our spirit increases, and then we have this spiritual empowerment to take action. And I think the third one is the most important. But before I tell you that, it is also important to hear from God, right? So that's why I wrote the book Hearing from God, which is a spirit-led manual and workbook that teaches you how to identify. Remember those four voices I just talked about: the voice of the flesh, the voice of the enemy, the voice of the world, and the voice of God. So that book takes you through a journey of understanding what these voices sound like in your life, because it's different for everybody. What the world sounds like to me is not what the world sounds like to you. What the devil's the way that the devil talks to me is not the same the way the devil talks to you. So it's important to know these things that is in the book, which is in the description. And then the third one is you can get the third reason why the devil hates when you fast is because when you fast and pray, this is important, you can get set free from generational curses and demonic influence. I had a little pause there. I had to read what was on my whiteboard. But yes, when you fast for God, you can literally get set free. And I'm speaking from experience, right? Fasting for God has set me free from drug addiction, from dissociative identity personality disorder, whatever the scientific term is. Fasting for God set me free from lust, pornography addiction, sex addiction. Fasting for God set me free from food addiction, sugar addiction. I cannot, I really want to stress this point. I cannot do those things on my own, or I could not have done those things on my own. Those things came from the power of the Spirit working within me. And He did His work because I brought my flesh down. The same thing has probably happened to you or will happen to you because you're going to do these fasts for God, right? Like, what's the purpose? What's the one agenda of the devil? The devil wants to take the believer, kill, steal, and destroy the believer, right? So when you fast and you have these three things that we just said, you hear from God, you have the spiritual empowerment, and you're breaking these generational curses, the devil has no more power over you. He can't steal, kill, and destroy from you anymore when you fast for God. So those are the three things. If you want help or any advice or any guidance one-on-one, you can get spiritual guidance in the description. Also, hearing from God, the Spirit-led manual is also in the description. So let me know, have you seen any of these things whenever you fast? Do you feel like the attacks from the devil get harder when you fast, or do they get lighter? I'm curious. Subscribe for more fasting videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.